This is Greg Kulowiec with EdTechTeacher, and this is an advanced Google Docs tutorial. So once you're logged into your Google Docs account, just simply click on the More tab, scroll down to Documents, and you can get to your Google Docs account. So one of the first things we should pay attention to is the collections located on the left-hand side of your account. By default, you'll have My Collections, and then as you can see in my account, I've made various collections for different class periods. To make a new collection, simply click on Create New and scroll down to Collections. As you can see, a new one will pop up, and then in the middle of the page, I'll be able to name my new collection. Think of collections as folders that you would typically create on any computing program. Now you can see that I'm highlighted on my new test collection and it's empty. If I go back to Home, where all my documents are, it's populated with every possible document. As I click on my test collection, there's nothing there yet. As you can see in a previous collection I've made for a C period class of mine, I've broken it up by a DBQ assignment that students have submitted and also by a presentation students have submitted. Using collections is a great way to stay organized within your Google Docs account. Instead of seeing all of my documents, I can see just the ones that I've selected to choose that are in that collection. So here's my new test collection. If I highlight it and click on Create New Collection, I will essentially be creating a sub-collection or subfolder within that initial collection. And I'll name this one Test Collection Subfolder. And you can see now on my original test collection, within it I have a sub-test collection. Now here's my home page with all of my documents. And here's the document I'd like to drag and drop into my new collection. You can see next to the document name now is the folder that it's a part of. And if I click on that collection, I can see that document is now in the new collection. If I go back home, you can see my test paper and the collection that it's located in. When I click on the document, I'll be brought to the document within that collection. So here I am back home in my Google Docs account. All of my documents are listed, and I like to be able to structure them and organize them in order to see just the documents I like by using my Collections tab. Now, an important point to consider when having students share work with you is how they name their documents. It's important to come up with a file naming convention that all your students will use. For example, in this collection, you can see that the students named everything the same. If I scroll down, you can see that every student submitted their paper with Racism in Sports - their name. Another example of that, all of my students in my C period class submitted their paper with C period -IR for Industrial Revolution - their name. As these documents are being shared with me in my main account and they come filtering in, it's easy to then know which students in the C period submitted it, and I can easily take those documents and drag them into my C period collection for that assignment. Let's do a test document right now, and I'll name it C period -IR for Industrial Revolution - my name. I'll add some test content into this document. I'll save the document. And you'll see it's at the top of my account because it's the newest document. And it's matched up very similarly to the other documents from that same class period. Now if I take that document and drag it into my C period Industrial Revolution collection, you can see that now it has the tag indicating it's in that collection. If I click on just that collection, you can see at the very top, my new document is located. And there it is. Now, as my students share documents with me, what I like to do is change the color of my font and leave them feedback within their paper. If you watched the previous Google Docs tutorial, you know that this is live, instant feedback. As a student is working on their paper, they can see my first comment, my second comment, and my third comment. When I'm done reading and grading their paper, I also like to change the name or title of their paper. I leave it as C period Industrial Revolution dash Greg, and then I add dash graded. When the students log into their Google Docs account, they'll see a new title. So I'll refresh my page, and you can see now that my original document that was titled C period dash IR dash Greg now has the graded title also. Students will know that I've read their paper and I've graded their paper. So here I am back home, and you can see this document with the initial content and the comments. Now another thing to consider is that within Google Docs you can download any document in multiple file types, PDFs and Word documents being the most common. If I click on Download as a PDF, once my computer downloads the PDF, I can click on it and open up that original Google Docs paper as a PDF paper. This is great for printing out documents when students are done with them. You can also click on File, Download as a Word document. This might be nice for students who want to pull their paper off Google Documents and go work on it offline at home. One last tip within Google Docs. I also might want to go to File, Make a Copy. This is a great addition to Google Docs because as a student submits a paper to you, you might want to create your own private copy of the paper so you can always have a hard copy of it. And you can see when you make a copy, it'll be indicated by copy of and then the original file name. This is important because if the student deletes their copy that they've shared with you, you'll lose it. If you create a copy of their paper, and you can see within my inbox, I now have copy of C period dash IR dash Greg. With my copy, it can never be lost and the student can't delete it. So there are some advanced techniques for using Google Docs. Thanks for watching this EdTech Teacher Google Docs Advanced tutorial.